alone and I'm alive.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Just wanted to come to you guys with another video today to talk about the current status of this search for a defensive coordinator in Knoxville. It seems like the conversation over the last couple of weeks has centered around nothing but the offensive side of the ball. Josh Heupel and this high-powered, up-tempo offense. But we still wait. We patiently wait to see how this defensive side of the ball fills out. So we're going to take a look at that, some of the rumors today. But as always, before we get started here, make sure you do go ahead and smash that thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps the analytics of YouTube. I know it's just a saying, but I would appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. Also, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out when we go live. Also, I know the Indie Kid, Vols JP, and Dauber are going to go live on Wednesday night immediately following the basketball game. So tune in for that. And then we're throwing in some random streams here and there. We did go live yesterday before the Super Bowl and kind of talked about this defensive position and the name that was trending yesterday. And you know, kind of the days leading into that was Matt House, who is the linebackers coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. But then yesterday, while we were live, a lot of people started talking about Al Washington. And that leads me to this article from footballscoop.com written by John Bryce. Sources: Tennessee's defensive coordinator search zeroes in on an offensive state coach. So let's take a look at the article here. Again, we've talked about it previously, how big this defensive coordinator hire is. It's very important for Josh Heupel. You know, I trust his offense. I trust his coaches that he's bringing with him from Central Florida. It's something we've talked about earlier. His offense is proven. When you're always in the top of the country, when you put up 40-plus points a game, I have confidence in you as an offensive coach, but you better bring somebody that knows what to do on the defensive side of the ball. Let's take a look at the article here. Tennessee's pursuit of a defensive coordinator has extended into the Big Ten Conference. Multiple sources on Sunday tell Football Scoop that the Vols' search for Josh Heupel's first defensive coordinator is centering on popular Ohio State assistant Al Washington. He is a Boston College alum and native of Columbus, Ohio. Washington has served as the Buckeyes linebacker coach for the past 2 seasons after spending the 2018 season on Jim Harbaugh's Michigan staff. Says here that he's been a coach at college football's highest level since 2012 and owns Power 5 coaching experience on both sides of the ball. Well, let's look at this. He does have Power 5 experience, but he's never coached in the SEC. And that's something a lot of people talk about is it is different when you come to the SEC. I've got a buddy that's from up north. He always talks about the Big Ten. And I said, this is the SEC down here. It's different. It's not like where you come from. People don't understand that. Something else of concern is Al Washington ready to take the next step? He's never been a defensive coordinator. He's been a defensive line coach. He's coached linebackers. He did coach running backs at Boston College. But he's never been the guy on the defensive side of the ball. Is Al Washington ready to be the guy? Is he ready to take that next step? There's a difference between coaching positions and calling plays. It's 2 different things. So is Al Washington ready to take that next step? The article here says he's coached along the defensive line 4 years at Slippery Rock, Cincinnati, and Boston College. He has 4 years coaching linebackers between Elon, Michigan, and Ohio State. This is something else of concern here. It says the Buckeyes are interested in retaining Washington and also have some additional money remaining. That seems to happen quite a bit when we are covering these coaching searches. A lot of guys, is that something that Tony Elliott did? A lot of rumors that he was in the mix for the head job, and then he gets a raise to stay at Clemson. James Franklin in the mix, name mentioned for the head coaching job, all of a sudden gets some upgrades to the locker room in Penn State, get some things done that he wanted. Is that something that Al Washington is trying to do here? We'll see how that plays out. This says, though Washington has yet to call plays at the collegiate level, he's viewed as an extremely high-energy coach and a valuable recruiter who relates well to his players. That's great, and that's something you need. You You got to be able to recruit. That's something that Josh Heupel has been criticized of, although he did, I think Cody Burns is coming with him. That's a good recruiter. But Washington's recruiting is something that I've seen a lot of people talk about as being a positive. But again, is he ready? There is a difference between coaching linebackers. There is a difference between coaching the defensive line and being the guy and calling plays. So is he ready? Is Al Washington ready to take that next step? We talked about how important it is, how important this defensive coordinator hire is for Josh Heupel. What are people going to say if it is Al Washington? You've got a guy named Kevin Steele that is receiving a paycheck currently from the University of Tennessee. Things that I've seen recently is that he is still recruiting. He is actively recruiting players to come to Tennessee. What does that mean? Does that mean his name is still in the mix? Or does it mean he's doing his job because he's still receiving a paycheck? I know Kevin Steele has had several conversations with Josh Heupel over the last couple of weeks, but everything keeps indicating that Kevin Steele is not going to be the guy. Is Kevin Steele going to remain on the staff? I can't imagine a guy whose name was thrown around as one of the best defensive coordinators in the SEC would come to Tennessee to coach under Al Washington, who would be calling plays for the first time of his career. So I don't know what to make of all of this. Some other names that are being thrown around. John Janzik, his name has been mentioned several times. Does that mean he's coming to be a defensive coordinator, or would he be coming to be an assistant? I mean, right now he's not even an on-field coach. He's a defensive quality control coach at Georgia. So would he be willing to come back and coach positions? I don't know. I don't know where his name fits in. Willie Martinez, his name has been mentioned some. Obviously, Garner, Kevin Simon, all names in the mix to be on this staff. Is that the case? We'll see. It sounds like Danny White and Josh Heupel want to roll this defensive coaching staff out during the basketball game on Wednesday. That seems to be something that Danny White is all about, creating hype, creating excitement. So we'll see if this staff is in place by Wednesday, but let me know. Leave me a comment below if it is Al Washington. Are you sold? Is high energy and recruiting enough, or do you need a guy that knows how to call plays? Or is this just the reality of the situation? Is this just where Tennessee is at as a program? You have to roll the dice on your defensive coordinator, on your head coach, across the board, because we are at rock bottom. Is that just where Tennessee is during this current day? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of Al Washington. The last thing I want to show you guys on the way out the door is this. Make sure you check out our new merchandise store. The link is in the description below, but it is bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can see the new Mount Rushmore merchandise. You can see when you go look at it, you've got your colors down here at the bottom, different sizes, different styles. We got the new Talkin VAWLS coffee mug, and then the old school merch, the original logo merch, the egghead merch, obviously your state pride, and then Vol Hoops. If you're a Vols basketball fan, again, make sure you tune in Wednesday night immediately following the game. Dauber and JP are going to be joined by the Indie Kid the rest of the way, so tune in for that. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Do me one last favor on the way out the door. Make sure you do press that thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. And again, jump down in those comments. Let me know, is Al Washington ready to take the next step? My name's Boogie Bentley for the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
The Vols, how